My phone keep coming off, and I had to use my charger. Also, since I'm talking about this issue, and I'm cleaning on Wednesday, like since I ain't going nowhere today, I'm supposed to go to the required art school this weekend to do my tests, retake my tests, and also do my lab. So I'm seeing it now, so put it on YouTube. And I'll send it to record label so they can get me into the entertainment industry. And this also I want to know that change to I'm talking about the one drop rule and stereotypes and all that. But and people who attack me for not kissing up to the white masses one drop rule when they don't want being sellouts, okay? Before I want to tell everybody when your phone charges, I might have to load this up. Braille should have a little phone charge, a portable charge. You plug it in your phone. So I do bring my charger, plug charger in this thing, but you have to put this in this little thing. With the little hole is on the charger. For example, it's right here. Okay, and put it back here before the phone cuts off. My point is, y'all, that I don't buy into just like love being part of black race because I prove that there being part of black race is good. I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the perfection. And please, if I ever become a entertainer, I would love to let people know that don't put me on the moral standard of expectation when it comes to being a role model. Admire me on my talent. Don't put me as a personal perfection. I'm not saying it's good that we have people who want to be role models. Like in Hebrews say, Jesus Christ is today, tomorrow. Let's remember the leaders. And all that. That's why we have the saints. They're leaders. They're done God's work. But and I hope that I be, people say, well, insurance for that. One thing was to just create these ideas about the assurance of salvation. They always use that the parts of First John. Even they skip the part where it says all sin is deadly, because we have veiled sins in that verse. But they also skip the part where no, we are righteous. But if they follow all the ifs before they got to that verse of about your salvation, being righteous, whatever. And many of those who claim to be saved people don't follow all the ifs in First John of that chapter before it gets to righteous. Then you know that you're saved. And remember, they don't even follow Paul talks about the having salvation and fear trembling. And they can talk church about me not acting right, but I see when they very condemn people when Jesus talked about that don't condemn, you'll be condemned in Luke 6. And I show mercy. I know I'm kind of weak on showing mercy towards my enemies and people do me wrong. But if you think you're holding down, you better think you have this dumb idea that you're better than I am. In a moral sense, in the godly sense, you at least have some mercy. You would not be condemning me. You would not be forcing your weight against me. Lord over me, like Paul told the presbyters, quote, elders in the New Testament, as priest. That's the Greek word. In 1 Peter chapter 5, not to lord over them, but examples of flock. You would not do all this. Ezekiel 34 about the people lord over. You wouldn't do that type of mess, okay? And also correcting kindness that St. Paul talks about in St. Timothy chapter 2, 24, 26. I mean, it's called scripture. I know I'm not the perfect person, but I'm saying my point is, I don't want people put me on a pedestal of morality. I mean, of course, I don't go sleep around of perfection on the spiritual sense. Okay, no one's perfect. I somehow try to. Well, I mean, you've been through a life of people doing you wrong, including your own family, bullies at school, teachers at school, wherever you go. Somebody give you this trash. I know it's the adversary, it's the devil doing this mess, and they even proclaim that they even distort the word of God. Say it's God's word that they do. I know it's being evil. That's why, as I go through spiritual abuse myself, victim of it. That's the reason why that I had this anger. Okay, just pray for me. Don't try to lord over me your correction. Okay. But my point is, I don't want people put me on a pedestal of perfection. That's why, for example, I understand why Beyonce don't condone because she's wrong for cursing, saying bottom B-I-T-H's. But the truth came out as her being a human being, and we are humans, okay? I don't understand people should go around and be evil because we're humans. If they can overlook that and do the Mother Teresa thing, do the God thing, because Mother Teresa did God's will, and she came from a poor family, a rich family, and this, and they're all being rich, but if you don't share your riches, and she actually did God's work, then I brought her. My point is that don't put me on a profession that when it comes to being a saint, a role model, okay? And just remind me for my talent as role model status of beliefs that's morally neutral or morally good, okay? But my point is going back to stereotypes. That's the reason why that me being a member of the black race, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that they try to put this what I consider to be very savage, like hyper masculine role in men of African Americans and black men, and I go against that stereotype because I don't act that way. Now I don't go act violent for no reason. Now, if you test me, yes, I'll admit I will act crazy, and who wouldn't? Because let me see this type of that's all types of men. Even those whether Protestant or Catholic portray this role of getting mean with someone. And I'm sorry. I'm not saying that it's kind of like, but just me personally, I remember growing up as a child, but they said, don't be a wimp, don't be a little girl, fight back. And you would threaten if you don't fight back, you get a whooping. That's why I'm very against the idea of beating a child. People distort the meaning of spoiled child and prophets. Isn't that distortion so they can beat children? And when politicians don't provoke your children to anger, to collisions and to divisions, people ignore these things. My point is that when I show people who are ignorant to people of African American descent, whether it be only black identified or mixed identified, that we're not all alike. I'm glad that I don't act a stereotypical role, because it shows how we as human beings have our own mind. Yes, on a spiritual sense, to be on one mind, okay? That's different. That's why I don't believe in this Protestant different denomination trash, making your own interpretation, and they ain't got the same belief system because they're quoting, making their own private interpretation and separating the body of Christ. And I believe in one church, one God, one faith. That's what the Catholic Church believes. But we have a right to have our own personal opinions outside of the spiritual mindset. And I don't want to go along because someone's black, someone of African descent. Just because they say one thing, I have to agree with that. You know what I'm saying? For example, that's why I don't use the one drop rule. So I actually break the stereotypes of those who think that all blacks, all people of African descent think alike. For example, I'll use the O.J. Simpson case. When it happened, the O.J. Simpson, almost 20 years ago, this is 2013, it happened in 94. I was very, impartial about the case. I did not look as a black and white. Hey, any man that kills his wife or abuses his wife, same thing, any woman abuses her husband, or kills her husband, kill unjustly. I do believe in defending yourself, and that's one thing I do believe, but not intentionally to go kill somebody. That's a different story. They should be put in prison. I don't care what your color is. For example, Ike Turner, what he did to Tina. Ike Turner, to my knowledge, is black, since the one rule denies the access to know what the other ethnicity in his background is. And we already know Tina Turner is black, white, and Native American. I don't care if she has 1% Native American, she's still part of Native American, because he also mentioned what I saw 20 years ago on this job that her grandma was Cherokee. But they found out DNA tests that she's 1% Native. Well, that 1% would still count because she wouldn't be here, okay? But she's basically black, white, and American, just like me, okay? But she was abused by Ike Turner. Abused, severely abused. If the trial came up and she was murdered by, of course he's dead now, but if he was murdered by, if he actually killed her, that's how much she You know, I gave her courage, even though I don't believe in the Buddhist religion. I gave her courage to have that. You know, I'm not scared of that thing. And to face it, okay, she actually showed she was strong right there in that movie when Angela Bassett played a role. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. If a night colonel killed them and they had this role, yeah, I will say that I turned to kill him because he has a history of abusing her. Anytime I abuse somebody, even a parent abuse a child, you're gonna assume right there that violent act, that anger, which is a different version of murder, has impact. But when I heard I was very impartial of the O.J. Simpson case. And O.J. Simpson, according to I read in his book when he was in jail, his mother, if you see in her DNA, she's caramel, and she has some Native American features. She's mixed with Native American and black. Father mixed with white Southern roots, black, which contributed to his complexion. Because I mentioned this, if colorism is not all that, isn't part of the white community, why would they darken his skin tone? It's one thing I hate the idea of calling somebody that's caramel dark skin when we know dark skin for us people African descent meaning someone like Wesley Snipes, and now people trying to be extremely Afrocentric because people who don't look the part of being pure black will try to cover up and try to hate their white side and hate white people, hate their non-black side. I'm not stupid. That's what y'all doing it for. And those who are dark skinned, not all, but those who feel insecure, I want somebody that's not fair skinned, not considered to be light skinned, but make them dark to make me feel better. And actually, that's an Afrocentric. Actually, that's a cop out right there because that's in a white racist centric beauty standard. And I'm inspired model. Let's say someone like Tyson Bedford, and they're looking for a dark skin. I'll go ahead and go along with the stupid theory these folks are promoting. And I say I'm dark skinned. And somebody white said, oh, I don't want that dark-skinned brother Tyson Bedford. Actually, he's mixed with Asian. By the way, it's also my role models, too. He's mixed with black and Asian. Also, he's mixed with Panamanian, which is Hispanic. Kind of funny. He's dark-skinned and mixes up. But they say, I don't want him. I was going to get somebody that's lighter and use the dark skin to cover up. And it's one thing that people get offended when people say that Halle Berry is black. And because it's true. And when... For example, what's her name? Vanessa Williams. I use Vanessa's life. She won the first black Miss America, and people who was of the black community, who was very Afrocentric, was saying this is a white beauty standard, white man's fantasy of black beauty. That y'all actually advocate when y'all call me dark skinned, I don't know, like Wesley Snipes, okay? But they darkened O.J. Simpson's color. And the white racist me was saying, I'm going to quote with it, oh, we know you a mixed breed nigger, and we know that you probably in your instinct you love white women, and you don't look white, but we're going to make you look like a doggone nigger to make you find out what we think of you. And we're going to make fun of your black heritage, so we're going to darken your skin tone to look like the doggone savage brute that we see of black people of your ancestors coming here. That's exactly what the people in African American got offended when Time Magazine darkened his picture. When someone called me dark skin, that's what I think of. Of course, dark brown skin to black skin is beautiful. But we know in the white racist mindset, it's not in their eyes. And you actually advocating exploitation when people do that. Well, that's why I didn't want the idea of what's her name, and I love Whoopi Goldberg, of her playing Celia Cruz and her being darker, because I knew white racist society was to make fun. And so I'm kind of glad that Latinos, including Afro-Latinos, are not in that the one drop theory. But we have to make she's Afro. Celia Cruz was Afro-Hispanic, and she wasn't pure. And I don't think she's a pure African descent person. She was claiming because society says she was. But using Whoopi Goldberg, who is not even Afro-Hispanic, don't even speak Spanish. That's why I think I love Madonna, but I don't think she should play the role Evita. No, Hispanics not racist, but we have enough Latinos in America. And why not get them to play themselves? But using someone dark skinned to try to put this role and try to make fun. And the same thing, it's not the same thing with the dark color. You can call me Color Chagrin. What's her name? Zoe Saldana. I forgot the woman that she did just trying to play Nia Simone. There we go. They're trying to get Zoe Saldana, who's real light and have African DNA, and consider his classified Hispanic, to play Nina Simone. They try to African. Well, she got African DNA, but they're trying to make fun. Try to say we have somebody that's dark. So why not get somebody India Arie to play Nina Simone? You know what I'm saying? Would you say somebody George Lopez to play what's his name? Thurgood Marshall? Even though George Lopez do have African, I would not approve of that. Okay. Only if he was African American descent of non-Hispanic descent. Because, hey, that's how I look at it. So you're going to use this stupid race category. Let's play the system since you brought up this race category, America. But, they actually tried to demonize O.J. Simpson's, and I was very upset about that, because I'm Cameron. I'm actually in color as O.J. Simpson, and they were saying we don't want you dating our women. You know what I'm saying? And I was very upset because I saw the scandal, the racial scandal they caused among those who identify as white and those who identify as black, since we're not all that pure. And one thing I said to myself, now if I was going to say whether he's guilty or innocent or neither, and I don't care if I do look to people as black, but my background is contrary to what they see me as. Okay, I don't care less or more. I just show you a picture of St. Martin Porras who looked predominantly black and have a white father. And my girl Shaw Jackson, shout out to Miss Shaw Jackson. I love her. That's my Mexican chocolate native sister, because she's part black and Indian on her mom's side and Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Mexican on her dad's side. I read her, and I'm glad she came out dark skin to prove y'all little stupid people that stop trying to use, stereotypes as to show what mixed is. So you don't want to, because you don't want us to exist. So you don't want people of mixed race to exist. This is the reason why you're doing that trash. But in Charles, this classification genocide that we don't exist by making us be more racial when we're not. More racial means pure race. And more racial, false memorization, that's why I disagree with the blood quadrants, and I don't disagree with one drop rule. If you have mixed ancestry, that's who you are. Because if it wasn't those mixed in your ancestry, your Coco and me, your family wouldn't be here. So don't, My point is, they darkened his skin tone to make fun. They wasn't doing it to talk about how black he was. They did it to make fun. Same thing with what's her name? My role models, I love her death. Who's black and Indian, Josephine Baker. She wasn't all that light. She was lighter skin, but not. And they wouldn't be dark enough for a black girl, so they made her put that dark. I saw the movie with Lynn Whitfield, and they be white folk laughing and giggling because this is, like I said, they didn't put no cameo on that woman. Same thing with Al Johnson, the Russian man who portrayed to be the jazz man making fun of black people. They darkened his skull. They put black paint, nearly dark brown or black paint makeup on him to look stupid. That's what I think of. The jigaboo, the buffoonery, the coonery trash that we saw in Oasis Hollywood that y'all trying to portray today and try to call it Afrocentric pride. I'm not done about that either. But they was mimicking that. So when they wanted and I'm glad to go against. If he did kill her, he should be put in prison. If he didn't, he shouldn't. That's what I feel about it. I don't care if he is Coco of the black race. Any man shouldn't kill his wife or abuse his wife. Same thing a woman. I'm gonna be neutral because I don't want a woman abusing me or try to kill me either if I marry her or dating her. And this is the reason why I didn't like it, because people who would like to tell a person of African American, especially a man, acting like he does not have no freedom, he can't marry who he wants to marry. Okay, he can't choose because we're all human beings. What's wrong with me dating a white girl? And this was to this day that scandalized me. That I love mixed, exotic women, because you're telling me as a man, and I don't mean to be sexually exploitation, and I don't use bad words, my penis go into a woman's vagina when I get married to her. When I'm a human being, forget the man-made notion of race, we all human beings, I can make that choice. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, I have respect for those who are gay or bisexual. I do believe they shouldn't be discriminated. Should not be discriminated in the workplace, military, whatever. But I don't condone same-sex marriage, not because of their orientation. I don't condone a man and a woman living together. I understand if you homeless and your girlfriend or boyfriend, you move into the apartment, but don't try to mimic as this y'all married, and then you try to sleep in the same bed and and have sex. Okay, that's not right. Okay, and then here in Texas, they could, if you stay there for 6 months with your partner of opposite sex, they consider that marriage. I don't condone it either. Okay, that's checking out. That's checking out trash. That scandalized that child. I think that's okay. Okay, so that's my point. So I'm being very impartial on that. Just like I don't condone same-sex sex, I don't condone premarital straight sex. Let's be real. Don't try to throw stones on somebody who sleep with the same sex, and then turn around and condone someone who sleep outside of sex when they're not even married, because that's not right. But my point is, I can't make a decision to procreate what God put on this earth as a man because of what a racist, ignorant person thinks of. And it's what made me upset how the racist media portrayed it. So you have people who identify themselves as black saying, well, he's sharing with that white woman, and racist white people saying, we don't believe in racism. See how them doggone savage niggers think? This is exactly what they was portraying in the media, and it caused a big scandal. I understood that the talk shows didn't talk about too much interracial relationships as they started to go down. So no, we're talking about Baby Mom, Baby Drama today. Ricky Lake and Tyra Banks sometimes bring up interracial relationships, but they normally don't talk about as much during that time. And Jenny Jones continued to, but still they talk about other things they try to avoid. But I'm mixed with white and black and Native American. I can date whoever I want to, and I think in OJ's case that I was impartial. Now I did later on in 2006 start to believe he was innocent, not because of being black. There's a video on YouTube, and y'all can look it up, about hidden phone records that was not presented in the case. Okay, I'm doing my facts. And Johnny Cochran, if the man is innocent, because I'm not God the judge. I wasn't there when the killing happened in LA, but they showed proof that O.J. Simpson was on a plane in Chicago while Nicole was talking to her mother. And this is kind of crazy. Why that wasn't brought up in the case? I wish, I know Johnny Cochran is dead, but I'll be upset. Why it's not brought up? That was wrong. Not to bring the other. The man is innocent. And in that tape, I felt very upset at the white woman saying that OJ once lived in a white world. This is not about justice. This is just, it shows how racist she was. We know racism will not allow, like the sister said, that was on that tape. And she asked the woman of African American, the black woman, we want to say, does that bother you that O.J. Simpson only dates white women? And she said no, it's freedom of choice. And she was being a true sister right there, a true freedom fighter. What she's saying about him being human, he can date anyone he want to. And white men had done, that's why I got white blood. White men had done it for years. Not only by raping women of color, whether it be Native American, Asian, or African, but also intermarried. And I wanted to mention, I'm mixed with Creole, by the way, French, okay? I don't know how my great-grandfather, because my great-grandfather, who's 93, still living today, but his grandfather looked white, came from Louisiana, came into the middle part of Texas, and came into our family. That's how my maternal grandmother carried his last name. And they say because they all knew him, because people understand teenage pregnancy is not a new thing. Many people in the country did had teenage children, teenagers had children, and they did get married young. So my great grandfather, because I read on the census, his parents were like 19, was his adult age, but they were still adult teens, I say, when they had him in 1920, and because he was born in 1919, and then my grandmother had my mother when she was 16 and married my grandfather. I don't know too much about it. I carry his last name. My mother had my sister when she was 18. I was born when she was 23, going on 24. And then my sister had, because the epidemic started to happen big time, had my niece, who's now will be 21 this year, when she was 17. God forbid she fornicates, my niece, okay? But let's say how about that she has. So you see that if she has a child, then her child will know her great great grandfather, who was my great grandfather. So my point is, they knew my great grandfather, my great grandfather's grandfather, who looked white. Because my great aunt told me back in 2000, they said, "Who's that white man there?" They said, "That's your great grandfather, your father's grandfather." And he was mixed to 3/4 white. So I guess that means a quadroon, a first generation mulatto parent, and a white parent, product of that. And he looked white. That's how I know that Michael Jackson kids are his. And I have friends who are Creole who looked white. Not all Creoles look white and look Hispanic, look exotic. I actually have caramel skin, so you don't try to use that predominantly African look to me. Okay, I know my hair, my nose, my lips are African. Don't go play games. Because even Fat Domino is dark skinned and he's Creole. Actually, my great grandmother, my great grandfather's wife, who's deceased, Medea, God rest her soul, she was, besides my great grandmother on my dad's side, my grandmother's mother, my paternal grandmother, those two never had no problems with me, never talked to me any kind of way. They was the oldest and we got along real well. My great grandmother on my dad's side died at 88. My great grandmother on my mom's side died, and I didn't go because the funeral back in 2007 because of the weather, and I was kind of sketched because I had dealt with some anti-Catholicism from the family members, because she didn't, not talking about believing in the church that she was putting, had a funeral on, but the people that's belong to this relatives of mine is anti-Catholic. I don't even want to deal with, okay? That's why I do believe what Jesus said, that he would separate the mother and father, in Matthew, I think, 10, 12, well, you know what I'm talking about. Not that I shouldn't hate them, but if they're trying to stray away from the truth, trying to force it. Now I understand that they don't believe in truth, different talk, but if they're trying to indulge in it, walk away. And that's why I don't fool with certain family members because of that. But my point is, she was dark skinned. My grandmother's mother. My grandmother's on my mom's side is my color, and that's what my great grandfather. But his wife, my great grandmother, my dear, was dark skinned, and I was told that they call them Geechees. Those were dark skinned. I know Geechee in South Carolina is a different mixture, but when it comes to Louisiana Creoles, they call, especially dark skinned Geechees, dark skinned French Creole people. She don't know before she died in 2000. When I talked to Medea, she and I know her too much her family tree, but they knew that some of her family tree was from Louisiana. And my grandfather, my dad's side, was dark skinned, who actually died the year after Medea. On my dad's side, he was dark skinned Creole. His family comes from Louisiana too. So we come in all different colors, okay? Because we're a mixture of black, European, and French, which is European. And the English part is on my grandmother's, on that side's background. She has a mixture of English ancestry. So actually she's part English. She don't, I don't care if she don't look it. It's part of her roots. Just like if she didn't look black and she looks something else, but she's still part black. She's a mixture of whatever in her roots. And my dad has those thin lips, okay? Not only because my grandfather, he didn't have thin lips, but his hidden DNA, but my grandmother has thin lips too. And her features are not too Afro. There's not that Negroid. And neither her father, who was dark skinned, was straight hair, because his grandmother, who was my great grandmother, was black and English. See, I read and her husband was named American Sign Indian. Like, for example, I don't have hairy arms. And I don't have hairy legs. No, I don't shave my legs. I used to get teeth live 20 years ago in middle school. Even from Latinos who mixed with Native American and blacks, and who mixed with Native American and whites, who had that DNA to have hairy arms, whether from the Caucasian or the Negroid, the African roots. I don't have hair because Asians in Native Americans are known. Those who are known to have not hairy bodies. Like I have a mustache, but I didn't get it much until 24 years old. My dad has that DNA too. No one I claim myself mixed. I know who I am. But my point is, that's why I like exotic looking women. You know, for example, Mariah Carey, because I'm tired of people telling me who to choose. I have that choice to make as a human being, as an American, as a man, as a child of God, to tell what type of woman I marry. No one have the right to tell me that. As long as she's part of the Catholic Church, because I'm not married a non-person that, let's say, converted into Catholicism. Just like the Jew, we learned this. People had twisted the verse in the Bible about the Gentile and Jew not married. Let me tell you what when God told His people not to marry those non-believers, not because of their race, it's because of their belief system. And even I saw it growing up as a child. My dad, parents, my grandfather was a Gnostic, but came from a sanctified church. Didn't practice Gnostic, kind of like atheist. So that's why my dad kind of just. And then my grandma was an evangelical Protestant, and there was so much problems between the two. And that's what I knew when I converted 2000. I read that we do. And something I can't marry someone who's non-believer, but preferably God prefers someone that is a believer to keep the family in their belief. And I would not marry a non-Catholic unless she was converted to Catholicism. That's on belief system, not on race. And I like exotic looking women. Now I might date a non-believer one, but I will not engage in a marriage. Okay, interreligious marriage. Now people want to enter, go ahead and do it, but that's not for me. But me personally, I date any woman I want to date, and I like exotic looking women. Okay, like for example, Mariah Carey, Paula Abdul, come on, Nicole from Pussycat Dolls. Okay, and who else? Maya Campbell. You know, Maya Campbell in the house. She's dark skinned, boy, nasty, non-kinky hair. I like exotic. It contradicts the notion who I should marry due to racist politics. That's why. And it's not because you're Central or African. It's just, for example, Selena. She's exotic looking. And people say, "Oh, mestiza." I'm not trying to be an African, but reading multiculturalism and multiracialism due to the true meaning of it, not from school. I got my information from internet, magazines, media, the true version of media, and also the library, that goes deeper into the history of mixing in Mexico. That include Afro. I see that she has a big list in that shape in her body. That not to be sexual, over sexual her, but she had that shape that. God forgive me. The banana, okay, you know, like J-Lo, okay. But my point is that's not common for a Native or Spaniard European to have that. And so I like exotic looking women because of my experience. People tell me who do they marry and all that other crap. And that's why, that's why. But that's my choice. If you want to attack me, I have a right to date who I want to date. You have no right to take my rights away. It's American. And I'm an African king, and I date who don't want to be my queen. I'm very advocated, but my point is about the O.J. Simpson case. It made me upset. And going back to the O.J. Simpson case, and I'm going to make a big video of this, but I'm trying to let people know that only time I started to believe that he was innocent when I saw the video of the white woman. I'm going to get that book, Blood, Serpents Rise and whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't seen it, it revealed a lot of things that wasn't brought up in the O.J. Simpson case in the media. They cover up, and it made me upset because the reason why he was attacked, and not from the white racist side, but that black nationalist trash, I wish he never got help from the Nation Islam, because it contradicts to me a black freedom. It was what's that movie? Birth of Nation. And in that movie, I never actually about reading when I read the stereotype that white racists would try to portray mixed race people who would not go along with the one drop rule. I'm not saying deny the black heritage. No, I'm saying actually saying that me and mixed. This was the black nationalists advocate that black one drop rule was a good thing when actually white racists created to make us be oppressed for having black blood. And anybody know that's why people hated being black, because of that theory. It did not teach us to be proud. Actually, by me claiming heritage, it helps me be proud of my black heritage. I noticed that. But in that movie, I forgot the character, the mulatto character in action. We go ahead and admit it. O.J. Simpson is a multiracial mulatto. He has white and African ancestry, along with the Americans. I know the American doesn't make you a mulatto, but what I call an American mulatto. Okay, but anyway, he was a mulatto and he married this white woman in the film. And the reason why they made white racist people made Birth of Nation, because of the Reconstruction days of African people after slavery. They started being in politics. People African Americans started being in politics about the Congress. Even here in Texas, they talk about that. Started being part in white folk racists. Oh, you better not dominate us. So the movie with me is very evil tool sometimes. It's sometimes good, sometimes bad. It's like the internet. To use to try to make people who don't know see something. Just like Nazis in Germany, Hitler used anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish stereotypes to make people who don't know about Jewish people to look ugly. Same thing here in America when it comes to the priest sex scandal. Not every priest is a pedophile. And also you have according to Priests and Pedophiles book, Phil Jenkins, who also a Protestant man, mentioned there's more Protestant ministers who are guilty of sexual abuse against minors than Catholic clergy, but the media wants to cover it up. I hate this trash. It's going to be part of the society, but I'm not going to condone what these people are doing in the media. But it's the same thing when people make bad things about black and brown people and make them look at us like gangsters and we not to be civilized. Okay, this is the reason why the white racist people use eugenics and all that other. You gotta read deep into it. The point is, in the movie Birth of Nation, that mulatto character who was black and white married a white woman. And he was so dominant and obsessed with her. So I forgot what the term mulatto character was in there. And this was a scary thought for racist white folks to say, we have the white racist KKK and all that stuff was promoted to knock down mixing. And it's why the one drop rule, they don't become part of the census after 1920. Because even when I was talking about my ancestry, my great-great-grandmother on my dad's side, go ahead and mention Charlotte Cleveland. She's dead. That was her married name, because her husband, whose name America, was his last name Cleveland. Child I heard. And it says mulatto on her son, my great-grandfather's father. It didn't say black, a Negro. And same thing on the 1920 census of my great-grandfather, my great-grandfather's father does say mulatto, doesn't say Negro on there. But they later on put, because people say, well, they didn't put into slavery. Yeah, slave politics, yes, they did. But it did allow the mulatto category to go through. What made to the census was the one drop rule after the 1920s. It's one thing I read in the article. That's why many of the pure blacks start to go away, because many of the pure blacks in America were mulattoes and black Indians and mixed blacks, and it's with the DNA. That's why we look so different. We have different colors today, different hair texture, whatever. And even they couldn't marry whites. They can marry Native Americans. They couldn't marry whites. Sometimes Latinos, even classified as legally white, they was not socially as white, and that even happened. But my point is that the character was portrayed as obsessive control and dominating of this white womanhood. So when we see O.J. Simpson's case, this is a reminder of that movie. And as a person that reads history, I was upset about that. I said, no wonder they exploited this brother. And I'm not saying that I do believe that he did abuse his wife and he should have been put in jail for it. But if he was on the plane while the murder was going on in Brentwood, or whatever the community was, well, both Ronald Goldman and Nicole was that, and actually they actually now the WASP stereotype because Nicole was Catholic and Nicole was Jewish. But the people who are Jews, not all white Jews and not all white Catholics, I know it's too, it's similar to this the ignorance of racist ignorance of white English Protestants. That's why I see a lot of anti-Catholicism come on, and I mean these people end up leaving the church because of that mess. But that's the reason why that I was upset that the white woman in that video was saying that he wanted to live the white world. Paul Wall is one of the Houston rappers here. It's kind of funny. I found out that him and Clemira was quote unquote religious rappers, Christian rappers. I guess they were Protestant, by the way, before they became part of the industry. And I guess what people made the Illuminati claim. Actually, no, when they make a gun, put a gun in their head, they chose money, and they did their wrongdoing. Like I said, I understand. I don't condone evil, but I understand a person being evil from the heart, but not trying to be evil to make money and claiming this is who they are as a person. We all fall, and you know. But my point is, he lives, if you want to be stereotypical, a black world. Now, not all of us are gangsters and hip hoppers and thugs, but he lives in a stereotype. He actually married to a woman of African descent, and I guess she do claim to be black. Why? Okay, so you're gonna attack O.J. Simpson, who yes, he in his book say identify as black with a one-job stupid influence. But here's a white guy that we don't even know that he has white, non-white DNA and mixed ancestry, never even claim it. Goes into the hip hop culture and marries a sister. And I'm not saying that's wrong. He has he's the right to marry whoever he wants to. But it's so stupid that y'all allow. But the issue is that white men can have any woman in the world, but a man of color can't, and that's racist right there. They're actually saying that white man can do whatever he wants, and he's, I guess, superior, close to God, and we just inferior, and we can't do nothing. And sisters who promote that idea are sellouts themselves, because if y'all worry about a brother don't want you, can I say this, please? Stop worrying about somebody who portray black trash to want you. Get somebody, a man of any color. Forget that nonsense. If a woman, I noticed that people say, well, I don't mind, I don't deepen my voice. Before I got my hair, but I gotta get my hair done again. They was telling me I should cut my hair, wear a certain type of clothes to order to get a woman. Now, if I choose, like it's true, I personally want to get built because in the industry, then male models don't sell. I was a model with Law Production, and I only did exposure. No, not new exposure. Exposure trying to do free modeling, fashion shows in order to get paid. When the person from a company said, I want that person, that's when the money comes in. And I know the men who was fit models or muscular models did made sales, but I always, since I was a teenager, wanted to get built anyway. Just I was lazy sometimes. Okay, right now I'm taking weight gainer, and thank God for GNC for the $15 gift card. You paid the first week, and I got what's it, $40 some, $60 or $80 some to get a big old weight gainer, a triple X weight gainer, and I drink it every morning. And you know, so I probably got a little bigger, and I'm kind of happy. And because I don't drink until you can get fat, I need some weight in my bones. But my point is, y'all, that I don't care if a woman, because not every woman thinks the same way. We all individuals. I'm very advocate of being individualistic on a non-spiritual sense. Okay, I understand spiritual sense. We all been one mind, one God, one church. But God also give us to be individuals on the aspect what He doesn't require. Okay, and if a woman doesn't like me, I don't care what her color is. I don't like her. She don't represent every woman in the world. She have her own mind. She's an individual. Same thing as a guy. I feel that a woman shouldn't, make herself to a point that she has to make a man like her. Go after people who like you. That's one thing that these sisters gotta understand. Stop going for men who don't want you, even if they are part of the black race. If you gotta go out the country to find you a doggone man, like Stella got her glue back and what's the movie with Monique, go to Africa and find this African man. I mean, do it. I mean, stop being limited. Other sources I went to with black, well, at only white school and Hispanic school they don't, because the whites leaving the area that I'm from due to the mixing, the multiculturalism and the Hispanic increase in the population of my town near Houston, and even some of the Hispanics didn't want me, and I learned, and some of the sisters didn't want me either. That's why they would get mad when I would talk to a Hispanic girl, and they'd think, why y'all want us? Well, it was a few, and y'all don't even want me. Y'all want me to be this thuggish and this other character that's not me as a person. And I'm not going to even portray that. So you got to be your own person, y'all. And I tell the sisters, and the sisters that they usually, I mean, I say all sisters, but they don't go after the Bill Cosby's, what's the other guy name? Montel Williams, Tiger Woods. I mean, they're all non-10 mix. Of course, Tiger Woods playing the mix. I give him props for that. But me and I from descent, they don't go to positive. Me, Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady is a prime example why I admire him, and he's not the stereotypical black person. He betrays the true meaning of a good man, an African man, is a good black man. But they'll go at the thuggish brother, the ghetto, buffoon, coon brother. That's what they go after. That's one thing when I went to El Paso, I knew some of the Hispanic women go after those type of, I couldn't go, And I'm like, I want them girls. Everybody said, why you can't get a girlfriend? Was I stressed out? Was I depressed because a woman didn't like me? I don't care. I prefer to have a woman that loves me in the individual sense for who I am as a person than a woman who wants me to be this stupid character that I'm not. And still, if she still ain't happy of who I am, because there's something wrong with her, and she feels something wrong with me because I'm still not this expectation. Sisters, stop being upset about that. There are other men all over the world. They ain't the only men. Just if you, a black man or woman. I'm not to sound gay or anything. If I wake up as a woman, and I am part of the black race, if I was a sister one day, the brothers you actually go for, I'm not saying stereotype, but I notice are the stereotypical ghetto five brothers. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the ghetto is dumb, but they allow the white races stereotype the ghetto slave mentality, getting their syndrome, and they portray and I don't mean to use the N-word, but the quote-unquote niggadoon attitude that make us as a race look bad. That's why they use the stereotypes in Hollywood to make people who don't know about us, even our African people, think we're terrible. Because I knew one African man told me he would not want to marry a woman from here. He told me marry an African. He told me himself, marry an African woman, don't marry no black woman, because not all sisters. And that's why your mother I used to term psychotic aunt and mama. I'm not saying every sister is psychotic aunt and mama, but when you act foolish, ignorant, barbaric, that you see that the white racist master did back in the village, they put that trash. That's why you was not all mixing came from rape, because some of them sisters will sleep with them men, and they put these sisters on top of the black man, which I do believe the man should be the household. I don't mean the male chauvinist. No, I'm not saying be abusive. Of course, submit to one, but yeah, he still head a household, and he please marry a healthy man. Stop marrying an abusive man, please. Not every man is abusive, but they put the black woman or a black man to make him feel less than a man, and she run and dominate the doggone thing. That's not even her place. And then when feminism came in, I do believe a woman being independent to be successful in life. I'm not saying go on birth control and go ahead and have all sexual promiscuities. No, I'm not advocating that. I'm not saying that you should take over the household, because I do believe the man should be the household. I wish that some of these men would stop being wimps. Anybody want to be spiritually masculine? Like, for example, I knew my homegirl, who's actually Blaxican, by the way. Her boyfriend, 9, 10, then 5 black. In one period of time, I was trying to help her get a job. She was bilingual. You would think she was Mexican, but I knew she was a sister. But one time she was straight, her hair curly, and you would think she's a straight Mexican. Her dad's Mexican, her mom is quote black, but this brother wouldn't even go get a job. I'm sorry, that's not me. But he was so the fuck in my shoe brother. You know what I'm saying? That's a punk move. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to be homophobic. That's a fag move right there. Man, get yourself up and get a doggone job. At least start your own business if you don't want one. Don't sit there and let the woman take over the doggone house and she got kids. She ain't did nothing. I don't know what's going in the house, but I'm sorry. You're going to sit on your tail. That to me makes me upset. And that's why we have this mess. But you are married. Y'all look for the wrong brothers. Y'all notice that. Not the intelligent brothers. You're talking about white women taking you men. I mean, come on. First of all, we all part of the human race, and we not pure black. We are part white and Indian too, because without those them answers, we wouldn't be here. We just got classified. In one job rule, I want to let everybody know, since I'm talking about one rule. One job rule is no longer law no more. There are two notions. Oprah Winfrey said 1997, excuse me, that 1987, they stopped these one-job rules, except for Louisiana. I heard that too. When I was 17-year-old and I watched her show, that's one thing. She's my role model. She's like a Harriet Tubman of modern day. I love Oprah. I sometimes even wish she was my own mom. Okay? I don't condone everything she does, but she has a good persona of a sister should be. This is what my daughter look up. I don't want her acting like the ghetto beast. I want her to act like Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama. That's a good role model for a sister. But do you see Oprah whining about black women? Actually, do she got a brother live Steph, and they all together. Of course, I know they're shacking up. I saw on there. I don't know that, but she got a man, and she's the richest woman in the world. Do you see her better? Michelle Obama married. She's married some mixed with white down her DNA in her ancestry, and she married to a man that has a white mother. I heard that his white mother has some black DNA, that ancestry in Indian. So I guess you consider her part of the black race. Barack Obama's quote white mother, because if he is in her race, that's who she is, mixed with black, white, and too. But my point is, she got her man. You see her whining? You see, I go out there, and then I know this culture is y'all talking about brothers being culture, or just go for the light skin, light skin, long hair women. Can I tell y'all something? Y'all so hypocrites. Going as a child, I do love my hair kinky. It's a perm my hair. I don't care if you think my hair is ugly or bad. I get a perm because I want to, and because white men say so. So when I never forget, 94, when I got my relaxer and messed up my hair by cutting it. It was white people talking about that I shouldn't look like that, and black and Hispanic people too. And on my head, I ain't trying to look good for you. I ain't trying to. It's for me. Forget y'all. It's an individual choice. But I remember in here called nappy head, and was soon the brothers said we all mixed. But they're dark skin, camera skin, fair skin, whatever. Had that non-kinky hair, curly and wavy straight hair. Ooh, I want my baby to have that old good hair. I heard it all my doggone life. Ever since Michael Jordan became the good brother, and he's a good brother, I don't understand why he not contributing to the black community, but he wants us to buy his $100. Jordan's actually one of the Jordans I got now is from a friend gave them to me. I didn't buy it on Jordans. Going to come my family said that we not buy $100 shoes. You know, and I do agree with that. I mean, I used to give celebrity, but I do agree with that because I'm not gonna buy. I mean, of course, if I was rich and famous, I'd buy my children some things, but I won't go overboard with it. You actually spoil when you do that. But my point is, since he became the good black man, dark skin, not fair skin, not camel, not brown skin. I mean, he had dark brown skin. I mean, he dark brown skin. He dark skin. Now all of a sudden that shift changed in the early 90s, late 80s, and they had to put Shaquille O'Neal, who else? even Wesley Snipes. Sisters all the one dark skin. Man, am I upset about that? No. Go ahead and get your dark chocolate brother. I ever have a Mexican friend. She's a Mexican girl, Mexican woman, and she have a child that's part black, and she love dark skinned men. When I mean dark, I'm talking about dark brown. She don't want no caramel like no man. She don't want no high yellow. She want, and I'm not upset about that. Go after, cause I understand that I love myself. I'm not gonna let somebody's personal choice corrupt me. On time that if I'm with somebody and they leave me for that person, because leaving for me for another person because their personal racist choice. For example, if a Hispanic woman, not every Hispanic woman is the same, but someone don't want to date me because I'm not Latino, I'm not worried about God. Bye, adios. I don't need you. Y'all gotta have the same time. Be your own person, y'all. That's why I'm against this black one drop rule and this collective is because we don't have individual choice. We can't love ourselves if we have everybody telling us within whether Eurocentric or Afrocentric how to live our lives. It negates individual freedom. And we're not talking about race and religion and gender because those factors attack my livelihood equal freedom, individuality. Okay, because I ain't gonna live through my life misery. I don't care how you get the $1 million in the world. I ain't gonna be happy living someone else's dream when it's not mine. That's why I like to live my way. Okay, I'm not trying to be selfish. Someone else put their stupid dream in my head and I'm not happy. That's why I don't listen to people who try to force their beliefs on me. So that's why they don't want to be selfish when doing that. But my point is, y'all didn't stop doing it. And one thing about the way that's why now I believe that he is innocent. The one thing he was wrong, I understand he won his Heisman Trophy. He wouldn't try to force them. Maybe get a lawyer to get that, do the intelligent thing, because I know they're gonna try to set me up. You know what I'm saying? And he's locked up. But that is the reason why that I now believe, because after I saw that video on YouTube in 2006 at the Pastor College in the computer room, that there was hidden records about Nicole talking to her mother. This is actual evidence that they didn't want to present, and that's why I was upset. And then too, but I kept it impartial going over the 90s and teenagers. Actually, my grandfather, who deceased, is why I'm very against black nationalism and anti intermixing and all that other stuff, because he was a dark skinned man and he was Creole descent and Native American. He wasn't pure black, but he actually hated race mixing, particularly black and white, because of the white racism that one of our families. But he's complaining about how blacks treat him, and I'm here thinking the idea. I'm not God to say this, because even Paul said that God knows his thoughts in Corinthians, somewhere in Corinthians. But nobody can tell me that they heard from God. You have actual evidence. I see it. But I felt like God was telling him and me too. There's devils. There people had the money in the black race too. You can't just say all white people are bad. And I dealt with black on black racism. I'm not talking about it's only colorism and people, and they go in my mixed identity. But even black folks, people identify as black, mistreated me. That's why I have a lot of people. I mean, that's why I don't believe that idea that I'm for my people. You have to actually show me you for your people and not negate my freedom. Because you don't like it personally, because I'm not going to live for you. One thing I agree with Adina Howard's song, I don't agree with a freak like me being sexual promiscuous, but she had a point. I don't care what they say. I don't pay no bias way. That's how I live my life. I'm not going to care what you think about me, so you don't come in my face. And I know it's not right to fight fire, but you're going to have a problem. My point is, that's my note, and that's why I'm glad to be part of the black race, to prove these stereotypes are wrong. I'm glad that I sing in Spanish and love Latin music, not in Tejano, salsa, merengue, and all, and people be shocked. I'm talking about shocked. They asked me one time, this one thing that people can't tell me there's no black people in Mexico, because They called me Jarocho in El Paso in 2005. I was in a job for Mexican students from Mexico, from Juarez, called me Jarocho, a nickname for medical science because dark Mexicans, Afro Mexicans, people who look partial, full African in Mexico, and I was speaking Spanish. I wasn't trying to be Mexican, but